Alright, you guys. Thank you for tuning in tonight to the Wave Race 64 rankings, Shibby's rankings. Today's October 6th. It's 2019. We've got the list of the top 10 Wave Race players, at least of right now, coming up here tonight. Hope you guys enjoy the stream. Sit back and relax. It'll go a little bit quickly this time. I'll probably just be mentioning a few things about each player and talking a little bit. But for the most part, might go, like I said, might go by a little bit quick. So while we have the Dolphin Park music playing, first we'll talk about our inactive mentions. Only 4 of them this time. All of them still remaining from the last time. Admiral Smith, Analogism, Lockwood, and Illu Dude. And of course, worth mentioning alongside them is our legends, kind of our Hall of Fame. So we've got Walls, Marla, and Illu Dude on the legends. One player did remove themselves. So, yeah, nothing really to mention about these guys because we haven't seen anything from any of them since, but would be nice to see some. We did see one submission from a player that we had listed as inactive last season, but none of the other ones. So, moving on here, we'll get into our honorable mentions. So the tier 2, the lower tier of the honorable mentions in this period, we're going to put up Bert moving down from the upper tier, and then Bunta, Gilly Guide, and Mr. Pitchy all ended up in tier 2. No submissions really from most of these guys. Very little activity, but still solid enough. Gilly Guide, I would say, is like the leader in submissions and overall time and everything in this tier. It was actually very hard to not put him into the tier 1 because there was a very close call with him and another player. But good stuff from these guys. These are our tier 2 honorable mentions. I'll pull up tier 1 now, which is going to be Andy Panther, Clara Hoshi, Quick Persons IND, and Stone Cold Hard. And I think one reason that I put, Stone Cold above Gilly this time is because although a lot of their timesheet is pretty similar, his is more recent, shows play from a more recent perspective, and it's just as good. Pretty much just as good with the same number of benchmarks. Andy Panther's in that same category, still very active recently. And then probably the strongest player out of this group, I might say, is Quick Person, but we just don't have like the sheer amount of submissions. There are a lot of empty submissions on his timesheet. I mean, that being said, he's a very strong player, most definitely. So, now that brings us into our top 10. So, we'll go into number 10 here. I don't really have any rhyme or reason for some of the songs, so don't think too much about them. I'm just going for a little bit of variety today. So number 10, we're gonna put the Androgyne here. Not a whole lot of activity, but a very strong and well-rounded timesheet. Plays really well, I think, with Mariner especially. We hopefully see something soon from him. I know that the new capture rules might be the reason that we haven't, but I mean, I'd still love to see it, and I know that a lot of you guys would too. Jumping in here, we'll keep it going I'll uncover number 9, Modal. Modal is another top-tier player that we haven't seen a lot of activity from too lately, but I mean, just to look at a few times, I mean, wait, what's the colors on this? Okay, so yeah. We've got top 5 times from Modal on Sunny Beach Reverse. You know, top 10 on mostly everything, like Sunny Beach all 3, Sunset Bay all 3, and it goes down the line. So a really good player overall in Modal. Next, actually, I'm gonna change the music here because we have a little bit of a mood change. We have a new player in our top 10 and jumped up pretty nicely, I think. We'll put Braden Hall at number 8. I don't know if you guys know or saw like all the work that he did recently in the game, but holy cow, I mean, filled out quite the timesheet here. I'll pull him up. So 103.8 on Sunny Beach, 106.8, I'm sorry, 106.5 on Sunny Beach Reverse, 105.8 on Sunset Bay, 19.895 lap on Sunset Bay. I'll go further down the list, like Twilight City Reverse, 135.9. Glacier Coast Reverse 122.1, and sick times all around. Twilight City 1 lap is top 3 with a 27.245. I think that's second place. So really amazing stuff by Braden Hall, and I couldn't not put him in the top 10. He was way too good. In 7th here, actually, this will be pretty good as money. I gave him Glacier Coast reverse music today because I saw his PB. He got a 121.6 today on Glacier Coast reverse. Also, I didn't even mention, but Braden Hall has awesome RTA times, as Money himself also has some pretty amazing RTA times. This was actually a tight battle between these two, and even number 6. So very good stuff by Asmoney, a player who's come over to my house and gotten PBs here. I mean, a couple of you guys have done that, but I think Asmoney comes over more than anybody and gets a lot of PBs. Good stuff. Asmoney getting into the top 7 now. Alright. So, number 6. Definitely going to Pancakes with all of this work from lately. Holy cow. My Oh My Pancakes has busted out into like the big time lately. Pulling them up here. Let's look at... Oh, I wanted to see... Let's look at his RTA because that's all been really impressive lately. He's part of the now currently 5-way tie for 3rd place with a 927 in championship normal, 1120 in hard, 1311 in expert, 1327 in reverse, and of course one of the 51s or the 51-53 in all championships. So really amazing. Pancakes has 9 benchmarks at the time of the cutoff. And some of these actually are even like top 5. I was looking for, I think he used to have a top 3. It might have just recently been been beaten. Well, yeah, quite a few top 5s still on the board, though, for pancakes. Alright, let's move on here into the top 5. Alright, and 5th place today is going to go to Metalhead, keeping his spot here in the top 5. So, Metalhead, I mean, there's not a whole lot that even really needs to be said. He's an awesome wave racer. I think he's looking for a band right now, also. He's a drummer. Yeah, really good player. Another guy who's been to my house and gotten some PBs here. Got most of his benchmarks out of the way already. Or actually, let me look at the official count. 12 right now. So 12 for 24, not bad. 946 overall forward, or I'm sorry, 945.086 overall forward time. So that's pretty good. That's in the top echelon. And then looking at his, I would say, one of Metalhead's better times. He's, of course, got the 20.213 lap on Sunny Beach. I'm just kind of skimming, of course. Twilight City 3 lap, 124.498. He's got the 114.9 on Southern Island. So lots of good times. Good stuff by Metalhead. And hopefully you find a good band to be a part of. Sorry that things didn't work out with the current one. You know, I should have kept it on this song, because it might have actually fit this player pretty well, but we'll change it up. It's never a bad idea. We'll go to this. It's like a victorious comeback for this player, who comes back and gets a really good time on maybe just one level, but he's got a full enough timesheet to still be considered active. You know what I'm talking about. It's Mo, bringing in 4th place for Canada with a really good overall timesheet. I mean, there are just a couple of things missing that hopefully he fills out, but just to kind of highlight. And of course, we don't see things for his like RTA, because we haven't seen that from him, which would be another thing that I would really like to see, is RTA from Mo. But let's look. 941.9 for his overall forward. 6. Oh, he's missing reverse, so it doesn't really matter on those. But that kind of gives you an idea where he's at. Mo of the North, yeah. I would say he might be a little bit higher if he had a full timesheet, but that's where you see the importance of filling out your timesheet, you know. He's definitely a madman. Above most of us. And then, so in 3rd this time, we're going to give it to Game, because his times hold up above everyone else up on the list so far. No really massive recent PBs other than the Drake Lake reverse. He did retake the world record on that. I think that was maybe the only submission last period, but like I said, he's already gotten so many awesome times already that he doesn't really need to submit every, you know, other day to pretty much stay right about where he's at. Now, if he wants to retake a position in the top 2, he's got a little bit of work to do, like a lot of the other players below also do in order to move up, but probably the only things that we really need to see are the rest of games RTA times, and then maybe to beat another couple of world records on ILs. You're gonna make him race you for RTA times? Yeah. He's definitely a 51 capable player. And I mean, just look at what we've seen. Of course, in the races, it's a little bit more distracting. I'll admit it's hard to play in the races. But yeah, definitely a top 3 capable player on all the categories. Man, we're in the top 2 already, Fish. And I'll give number 2 to Dr. Fish. Man, I can't even keep up with all of the PBs that Fish gets. It's best just to do his highlights, kind of like I did for the other players. So we'll talk about, first, let's just mention his RTA times. Championship normal 923, which I think is a 922 now. This is at the cutoff though. 1113 for hard mode, 1259 for expert mode, 1310 in reverse mode, and then 42, which was second. All those were second place at the cutoff. 23 benchmarks, so pretty amazing. 940 overall, 940.610 overall forward, 1007.851 overall reverse, and then 304.374 overall one lap time. So that's if you pay attention to the grand total times, that's 22:52, 8:35, which is second place by, man, I think third place has a 22:56. Yeah. So still like pretty legit grand total time. And then so Dr. Fish definitely still deserving of his spot on this rankings, coming in at number 2 right now. Okay. So I'll move up to number 1 now, and I'll remain number 1 for the time being. But of course, it's closer now than it has ever been. So I've got 921 normal championships, 1108 championship hard, 1256 expert, 1309 in reverse, and the 5111 all championships. So the total times are 937.561 in forward, 10:05.214 in reverse, and then 3:02.822 one lap time. So that grand total is 22 minutes 45 seconds .497. So all 24 benchmarks. So it's definitely getting close. As you can see, that grand total time is now only less than 7 seconds, or just slightly more than 7 seconds, whereas it used to be quite a bit more than that. So needless to say, if I do want to stay on top, the things that I need to see from myself are to hold up on world records that I lose, like I have to fight back. and probably quicker than I have been. And I think I should also start the grind for 50 in all championships. I don't know, what do you guys think? But yeah, this is our Shibby's rankings for today, the 6th of October. Let me know what you guys think in the comments and in the Discord. We'll hang out for a little bit after we're done here. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your evening, and we'll see you around.